Sawadee good morning and welcome to Newsline. We're coming live to you on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and also NBT World. It's Wednesday, May the 6th of 2015. I'm Chalapansan Rula. His Majesty the King on May 5th presided over the royal ceremony to mark the Coronation Day 2015. A large number of people thronged the route from Sirirat Hospital, where the royal motorcade left at about 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning, waving royal flags and His Majesty's pictures while chanting, "Long live the King." The royal motorcade went along Arun Amarin Road, the Somdet Prap Bin Glau Bridge, before entering Rajadamnern Avenue, passing by the Supreme Court building and the City Pillar Shrine, and then entering the Grand Palace by Wiset Chaisi Gate. Upon his arrival at the Amarintra Vinichai Throne Hall, His Majesty the King paid respect to the Buddha image for his reign, Praputtha Patima Chayawat. This was followed by the chanting of Buddhist scriptures by a chapter of 20 high-ranking monks. At the end of the religious chanting, His Majesty designated His Royal Highness the Crown Prince to deputize for him in presenting necessities to the participating monks. The monks then chanted their blessings before leaving the ceremonial site. His Majesty the King left the Grand Palace at about 11:30 a.m. Also accompanying His Majesty the King at the ceremony were Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn and other members of the royal family. The cabinet and senior state officials also attended the ceremony. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha on Tuesday led cabinet ministers in marking the Coronation Day with an event at the Government House. The Government House event was attended by members of the Privy Council, ministers and their spouses, officials from the Bureau of the Royal Household, Armed Forces commanders, foreign diplomats, members of the press, and leaders of the private sector organizations and businesses. General Prayut led the ceremony by paying respect to an image of His Majesty the King, after which he recited a speech wishing His Majesty good health and longevity. The Government House function concluded with attendees making toast to His Majesty to the tune of the Royal Anthem. And now to today's section of Thailand Moves Forward. A walking rally was held earlier to celebrate the 69th anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne. Defence Minister and Deputy Prime Minister General Prawit Wongsuwan presided over the opening ceremony of the walking rally at Rajput Club. People from all walks of life and government officials participated in the 5-kilometre walk. The first 5 individuals who crossed the finish line have received a commemorative trophy from the club. The event celebrated the anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne 69 years ago. According to the Meteorological Department, Got Yao Yai in Phang Nga province was struck by a 4.6 magnitude earthquake early this morning. The epicenter was about 4 kilometers underground. The tremor was felt in Phang Nga, Phuket and Krabi. And as of now, there have been no reports of injuries or deaths, nor has there been a tsunami warning. Meanwhile, in Nepal, aid continues to flow in to help the quake victims there, including the help coming from Thailand, in which Thai medical teams will be joining relief efforts in Nepal. The Ministry of Public Health will send a second medical team to help people affected by the devastating earthquake in Nepal on Thursday. Acting Permanent Secretary of Public Health, Mr. Surache Sathit Niramai, said the second team will consist of 40 medical personnel. They will be divided into 2 groups in order to cover more ground. The first team is scheduled to return to Thailand this Friday. The 2 groups will travel to Sipagat and Pascal to ensure the survivors' hygiene, their physical health and mental well-being. They are also expected to help restore the healthcare system in Nepal with other teams from foreign nations. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs revealed that 3 more Thai nationals in Nepal have requested evacuation back to the kingdom. According to the ministry, a parent of 3 children has sought assistance from the ministry for their return to Thailand on C-130 aircraft. The aircraft arrived in Nepal to deliver emergency supplies from Thailand and other items given by Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn. With the 3 children expected to return soon, there will only be 3 more Thai citizens remaining at the Thai embassy in Kathmandu. The rescue teams from the Royal Thai Armed Forces, combat medics, and those from the Ministry of Public Health have been providing relief efforts to the quake survivors as well as those affected by it. The quake has so far killed at least 7,300 people and also injured over 14,000 others. The United Nations has said that 1.4 million people will need aid over the next 3 months. The government is adamant stricter regulation will be imposed on the sale of lottery tickets from June onwards as part of the overhaul of the lottery system. Deputy Government Spokesperson Major General Sanson Kaukamnut revealed that as the current contract governing the allocation of the lottery quota is expiring soon, changes will be seen in the new contract, both in terms of quota and ticket pricing, and will begin to take effect in June. According to Major General Sanson, it has been found that a number of lottery vendors usually sell the allocated tickets to middlemen instead of selling them directly to the public, causing the price in the market to soar. Therefore, the government is planning to reduce the price quoted by the Government Lottery Office, possibly to 70 baht apiece, in a bid to increase profits for vendors and enable them to lower their retail price accordingly. The government will also set aside a budget to buy back excess lottery tickets from vendors as a way to prevent overpricing. The measure is in response to a report that vendors tend to use a large amount of leftovers as an excuse to raise their price to offset the loss. Beginning in June, such an excuse will no longer be acceptable, and vendors found to be overcharging customers will face legal action. The Ministry of Culture is to launch a campaign to encourage Thais to wear traditional Thai clothes more often. Culture Minister Veera Rod said that the Department of Cultural Promotion will ask universities in Bangkok and other provinces to promote locally made textiles by encouraging their staff to wear them. The Ministry of Education will be asked for its cooperation to do the same with school students. The Ministry of Culture will also be making awards to individuals who wear traditional Thai clothes during the campaign. The campaign is expected to be launched in August as soon as the Cabinet gives it a green light. A survey will also be conducted to collect historic information on Thai traditional textiles. People from various social groups will be invited to join a network set up specifically to promote the wearing of Thai traditional clothes. A Vice President of the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has opposed a suggestion that parts of the 1997 Constitution be added to the new Charter. NLA's first Vice President, Surachai Liengbunlerchai, who also chairs the committee in charge of the collection of suggestions and opinions related to the drafting of the new Charter, said that the committee believes that there should be a seminar for all NLA members to brainstorm the idea. Mr. Surachai said that such a session should help streamline all ideas and then make them cohesive before the NLA submits everything to the Constitution Drafting Committee. According to the Vice President, the committee has been concerned about 2 parts of the draft charter, including the origin of the Prime Minister and the roles and responsibilities of both the lower and upper houses. The NLA's first Vice President also turned down the suggestion that the charter drafters should integrate some parts of the 1997 Constitution with the new charter, saying the draft should be adjusted towards the best in order for it to be accepted by the public. The Ministry of Social Development and Human Security has affirmed that the Begging Control Bill, if approved by the National Legislative Assembly, will be an effective tool for the fight against human trafficking. Mr. Anusan Tiantong, spokesperson of the Social Development and Human Security Ministry, indicated that the draft begging control law, which is currently awaiting the NLA's consideration, would subject street beggars to a jail term of 1 month and or a fine of 10,000 baht. All those forcing others into begging would face a maximum jail term of 3 years and or a fine of up to 30,000 baht. The draft law does not categorize street musicians and performers as beggars. However, it would require them to notify local authorities of their activities, otherwise a fine of not exceeding 10,000 baht could be applied. Moreover, a committee chaired by the Social Development and Human Security Ministry would be set up to specifically handle the beggar problem. Mr. Anusan elaborated that the bill does not seek to clamp down on beggars, but to prevent them from falling prey to human traffickers in a sustainable way by providing them with occupational training, allowing them to become self-reliant. He also said the eradication of begging is part of the government's effort to uplift the quality of life of the poor and narrow social gaps. The Finance Ministry has advised the public that several loan products under the government-sponsored Nano Finance program are now available to borrowers. Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, Rangsan C. Warasat, said that there are currently many nano finance products offered by various companies, but an individual borrower cannot receive more than 100,000 baht in loans in total. As for the lenders, he said that they cannot charge more than 36% per annum in interest, commission, fines and other applicable fees. He said that there are now 4 companies that have received a permit to offer nano finance products in Bangkok and various provinces. The Finance Ministry's Permanent Secretary added that all information about licensed lenders can be acquired from the Bank of Thailand and also from the Fiscal Policy Office. The government has instructed all 34 pawn shops under the Ministry of Social Development and Human Security to maintain interest rates as part of the efforts to help parents before the school reopens. Government spokesman Yongyut Mayalap said the interest rates lower than those set by the Pawn Shop Act should be effective from now until June 2015. The interest rates range from 50 satang per month to 1.25 baht per month, depending on the principal. Director of the Office of the Government Pawn Shop, Kun Manak Lieng Thong, said that the office had asked the pawn shops to preserve 500 million baht more in liquidity to keep up with the demands of customers during this period. And the Department of Business Development, or DBD, has revealed that the One Tambon, One Product, or OTOP centers will be established nationwide. DBD Director General Pongpan Jiawiriyapan revealed that a pilot project is being held in Ayutthaya Sky Shopping Centre, where an OTOP centre is being established with 60 to 70 booths. The mall operator has agreed not to charge OTOP vendors on leasing fees for a year. The OTOP Centre will launch its trial period in the month of July, then make an official debut in the following month. Ms. Pongpan said that the mall has given 2 options. The first option would be to allow the mall to set OTOP prices and collect a portion of the income that's based on its price bracket. And the second approach is to let OTOP vendors set their prices and the mall will take a certain percentage of the income. OTOP operators requested permission to inspect the centre, saying the information would be helpful for marketing plans. They also suggested the stores hold a week-long promotion event for OTOP items. The vendors claimed that the event would help gauge local demand for the products. Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister General Prawit Wongsuwan said he believes the special economic zones will begin to attract investments in September. The Defence Minister revealed after attending the Special Economic Zones meeting that investors would pay more attention to the Special Economic Zones once investment incentives and land allotment have been announced. Relevant agencies have been instructed to determine the terms and conditions regarding the incentives and lands by the end of September. Tak and Sakeo will be first of the 2 SEZ provinces in Thailand to be fully equipped and ready for investment. We'll now take a short break and also have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices. Newsline will be back with more. Stay with us.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. First among them, to uphold the three pillars: the nation, religion, and the monarchy.
Even if we don't see them, they are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
On the occasion of the 82nd of the anniversary of the Public Relations Department, and on behalf of our department, I wish to you great success of the work that you contribute to Thailand and contribute to global communities for your public relations. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Now to the international news. The airport of Yemen's Sana'a airport runway remained closed on Tuesday after fighter jets from the Saudi-led coalition pounded Yemen's main airport on Monday, leaving aircraft burning on the runway. The airstrikes on Sana'a airport started on April 28 as jets from a Saudi-led alliance targeted the airport to prevent an Iranian plane from landing there, Saudi Arabia said. The United Nations said the humanitarian situation has grown desperate after weeks of airstrikes. The United Nations said on Monday Saudi-led coalition should stop targeting Sana'a airport as it prepared a plan to set up an air bridge to bring humanitarian workers into the country from Djibouti and deliver aid around Yemen. The Italian Coast Guard on Tuesday released video of a group of migrants who were rescued at sea during several operations being transferred onto Coast Guard vessels and taken to the port in the southern city of Crotone. The Coast Guard said the migrants were part of some 1,606 people who were rescued at sea in 17 operations carried out on Monday. Now, on Sunday, May 3rd, around 40 migrants died at sea, according to survivors of the journey who arrived on the southern Italian island of Sicily on Tuesday. The deaths were reported by some of the roughly 240 migrants from Ghana, Gambia, Senegal, and Ivory Coast who arrived in the port of Catania. A Maltese merchant ship rescued the migrants from 2 rubber boats on which they had set off from Libya, where lawlessness has been exploited by traffickers who can charge thousands of dollars to people looking for a better life in Europe. The U.S. State Department hosted a reception to return 5 pieces of artwork stolen during World War II to their rightful owners or heirs. The process of returning the artwork to the German government was facilitated by the Monuments Men Foundation, which was brought into prominence following a best-selling book and a subsequent movie of the same name. The paintings are part of thousands of cultural items that went missing during the war and have been returned to Germany over the years via tips, and leads the Monuments Men Foundation have received a toll-free telephone line. 3 of the returned paintings that originated from the art gallery in Dessau were won by an American soldier during a poker game and mailed to the United States. They were previously being hidden in a potassium mine for safekeeping during the war. And now the stolen art pieces have been returned to the heirs. Legoland Windsor has updated its royal scene to include a miniature version of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's new baby, Princess Charlotte. The model Charlotte was unveiled on Tuesday, joining her parents and older brother Prince George outside Buckingham Palace at the theme park's Miniland attraction. Prince William and Kate named their newborn daughter Charlotte Elizabeth Diana, a choice that honors the baby's late grandmother, Princess Diana, and her great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth. Charlotte, fourth in line to the British throne behind George, William and grandfather Prince Charles, was born on Saturday, May the 2nd, in a London hospital. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. Thank you very much for joining us. If you do have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook simply by typing in NNT. You'll find out more about the news happening in Thailand every day. And our website is thainews.prd.go.th/newseng. Today we say goodbye by taking you to Chiang Mai Night Safari. We'll be seeing some tigers enjoying, well, a swim there. So let's have a look. I'm Chalap Hansan Arula. Until then, goodbye. Swadee ka.